Hello everyone, it's Katie here from the YouTube channel The Scrappy Sisters, and I am up on the Kitaholic Kits YouTube channel today with a layout using my March kits. This month for the first time I actually got all 4 kits, so that was pretty exciting. And at the moment I've been into a little bit of multiple photo layouts, which is really unusual for me. Normally I'm a very one photo only to a layout kind of gal. But no, I've decided to have a bit of a multiple photo thing going on. So these are actually 4 photos from my nephew's first birthday, and they're actually showing him opening kind of one of the gifts that we bought for him. He had a party the day before his actual first birthday, and so we left one present that he could open on his birthday morning with my sister and my brother-in-law. And so she took these photos. We weren't actually there, but because it was the present we gave him, I still wanted to include these in my album, and they're a really cute series of photos. I ended up printing them off in black and white just because, you know, 4 photos, I thought black and white, you know, it'll be a bit easier to match embellishments and things. And then because I'm scrapping 9x12 this year for my 2017 album, obviously this is a 9x12 full page layout, and the photos are a decent size. They're 4x4 square photos, so it takes up the kind of whole width of the layout, and I decided to keep it very grid-like, so and very symmetrical, if that makes sense. So I'm just at the moment deciding if I want to put a piece of pattern paper kind of behind the photos, which I often do. If you've been watching my layouts for a long time, or if you are a subscriber to my YouTube channel, you'll know that I often do layouts with big pieces of pattern paper. So I am taking this wood grain paper that came in the kit, in the main kit, and just cutting it down to actually a square 9x9 size, and thinking about mounting my photos on that. This layout, once I decided what I wanted to do, was very quick to come together, but it took me a while to figure out how I wanted these photos kind of, you know, to appear on the page. So for a while I do think about mounting them, and I think about using frames, and I think, you know, in hindsight a frame would have been super cute on at least one of the photos, but I felt like, to be honest, it took away a little bit from the full photo. It's sort of a really cute series of that flow from him getting his present, opening them, and then playing with what it eventually was, which FYI was a wooden drum. He loved it, very cute. Not too loud so my sister didn't kill me. So I decided to remove the piece of pattern paper and not sort of use that in the background, just leave it with the white cardstock. And then 2 frames came in the embellishment pack from the Cocoa Vanilla Wild at Heart collection, and so I've used both those frames on 2 of the photos diagonally opposite each other, and now I'm playing with a bit of a doily on the bottom left photo, and that does stay. I do decide to keep that doily. I'm not afraid of using pinks and what would, I guess, traditionally be seen as more feminine colours for a layout of boys. I'm not all kind of for those gender stereotypes of colours. I just kind of go with whatever works. I personally love scrapping in more of these pastel type colours, even the pinks and blues and you know, the greens and the yellows, but in that more of a pastel-y type shade or watercolour type effect. So I just use that on all of my layouts, regardless of what the photos are. I can make it work. So I'm creating little embellishment clusters on each one of these 4 photos. So this is what I'm saying when I mean it did become quite symmetrical, and I do similar things on the opposite, or the diagonally opposite photos. So the top left and the bottom right both have the frame behind them, different colour but the same look. And then the photo in the top right and bottom left do end up both having a little bit of a doily. I do cut that pink doily in half and put the other half on the other side. So that works well for me. I really love how this turned out, actually. Very, very happy with this layout. It was the first layout I did with the kits, as well as obviously being the first video I filmed, but it was, you know, the first layout, and so I had everything to play with. Nothing had been used yet. Sometimes that can be a little overwhelming when you first open a kit and you're sort of going, oh my gosh, I can use everything. But I really love how this came together. I am doing this voiceover the day after I actually finished this layout, and I've already made 4 9x12 full layouts, and at this stage 1 pocket page spread, but I'll have more pocket page spreads to come, and there's still so much of the kit left, so I'm so excited. This kit is right up my alley and it's just beautiful. The Wild at Heart collection was definitely the reason why this month I decided to get all 4 kits. So normally I just get the main kit and the embellishment kit, but because I wanted to buy the Wild at Heart collection anyway, I thought, well, I'll just get all 4 kits. And I'm so glad I did. So I'm probably using a bit of everything on this particular layout. I get confused once I've unpacked everything and put it into my little Officeworks really useful box. I mix everything together, so I get confused about what came with what. So I assume I'm using things from all 4 of the kits, but I don't really remember. So I've just finding a bit of plastic so that I can see if my title is going to fit. I think it's going to fit, but I wasn't 100% sure, so I don't always do a title on plastic first and then transfer it over. And this time around I only did because I wanted to see if Birthday Boy, which is the title I end up going with, will fit across the page, and easily, as you can see, it does. So I love these stickers. They're like, well, they're not like, they are a copper colour with a pink foam kind of backing, which makes them look like rose gold. And rose gold, so trendy right now. So they're beautiful. And said I've made 4 9x12 layouts so far, and they've both had fairly long titles with these stickers. So yeah, really loving them. So I'm just going to stick down my little embellishment clusters in each of the 4 photos. There's not a lot to them, but I did want something in each of the 4 little spaces. So that little word says beautiful you, and then I put down 2 little die cut hearts that came in the ephemera pack. Just sort of figuring out placement. I do fiddle around a bit. You know, in trying to decide, do I want it to go up, do I want it to go down, sideways, how do I want it to look? It ends up sort of going underneath the beautiful you. And then the bottom right photo just has 2 little flowers, which also came in the ephemera pack. One I stick straight down and one I pop up with some foam dots, and I quite like that sort of dimension. And then I've got the same up in the top left. I'm using an arrow which I'm sticking straight down, and then there's a cute little butterfly that came in the ephemera pack, and that I'm just popping up with some foam dots as well before I stick that down. And then I've got another word sort of banner that's going in the top right with that floral piece. I did toy with putting it down the bottom near the word boy, but because I was going for it, it has turned into such a symmetrical look, it didn't fit, so it needed to go up in that top right hand corner. And this one says forever in my heart. Oh, he's so cute. And then I do stick some of the tiny words down. This one says hello you, I think, and then one that says maybe memories. Yep, memories. And then I have one that says love, and then the last one says for you, which is very cute. So again, I only put those tiny words on the 2 little ephemera clusters, but sort of I mirror them, so top left, bottom right, and then I finish off, well, not quite finish off, but I do put a cluster of 3 of the K's Craft rhinestones in each of the clusters. I can spread them out a bit, but they've all got 3 rhinestones, so I really like those rhinestones. They are orange, I think is the technical colour, but they're very similar to that coppery goldy kind of hue of the thickers, so they work really well. Now I'm just testing this colour spray from Colour Blast because I hadn't used it before, and I wasn't sure if you could splatter it like you can with the other mists. You can, so I did, and I was a bit reckless and I didn't cover the photo, and I think I only used the 2 colours, the blue and the pink, and I did get a couple of splotches of pink on my nephew's head in that top left photo, but you know, I soak it up a little bit with a baby wipe. It doesn't completely sort of take it off, but it does make it less splotchy looking, but it doesn't matter. I mean, there's 4 photos of him. You can see his face in the others. So here's some close-ups for you of each of the clusters. I did smear a little bit up the top, but you can't tell once it's in the layout. So I wanted to show you some close-ups. I hope you've liked this particular layout that I've done. I'm loving the March kits. I'm loving them so much, and I hope you guys are liking them as much as we are. If you're interested in finding out more about Kitaholics, check the down box down below, and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys!